Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Football Stooges, the weekly football YouTube series where we cover football in the stupidest way imaginable.
Boys, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's going to be very stupid this week. We are starting our 4 weeks of recap. We are going to officially recap the East divisions, so the NFC champion, or the NFC, or the Super Bowl champion NFC East because of the Eagles, and then we'll also talk about AFC East. So we'll do both Easts, both Wests, both Norths, and both South through the next 4 weeks. That will be able to bridge us from the end of the NFL season to the start of the UFL season, so can't wait for that. But I can't do this alone. So as always, my compatriots and Stoodry are here. We're one short today, but that does not mean we are short in any other stature. First up, fresh off a debilitating, probably hangover cycle of post-championship success, the Purell hand sanitizer of the Football Stooges. Don't inject them into your veins. It's Mastodon.
It was just Monday. That's it. It was just that Monday.
It was just a Monday. True, you did have off. Yeah. What a way to plan ahead. What a way to plan ahead.
Well, I had to also get my septic cleaned out also that day, so it was just
your septic tank. Your septic tank.
Yeah, septic tank.
Yeah.
How much of it was just like
you didn't get a colonoscopy? I had to get my septic looked at. No, you got your septic tank looked at, Mastodon.
He's getting
go to
that age.
College. Oh no, come on.
He's getting to that age where he's got to get it every couple of years.
We are not even 2 minutes into this motherfucker. Give the man a break. All right, next up, the disrespectful porno mustache Gorlami.
Hi. I'm not going to drink tonight.
How's that?
I'm not going to drink tonight. I'm not going to drink tonight.
So how's that wide receiver 1 doing for you?
Eat a dick.
What's going on with the wide receiver 1? I haven't heard anything.
They don't have one.
We don't have one.
Well, yeah, it's this early into the offseason. What changed?
They never had one for how many years?
Well, Devontae Adams wasn't that far removed. That was like 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
More than that.
Yeah.
It's like 5.
Yeah.
All right. Someone who probably wishes they could turn back the state of Boston sports 5 years. It's K-Duff.
I was still a teenager when we had him, okay?
You're still a teenager now.
We had a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, well, at least I don't gotta get
camera
shoved up my ass every 5 years.
Who was the last Patriots wide receiver 1? Edelman?
Edelman, maybe.
Edelnut.
Even before him, I don't fucking know at this point. Right now, it seems to be Kendrick Bourne, but that's just because of seniority on this.
Oh, you guys had Juju, remember?
Don't remind me. We had Juju. Okay.
Was he even a wide receiver 1?
No.
I he was always wide receiver
Juju.
2.
At Juju's best, he was a really good wide receiver 2. He was on the Steelers, solid. Everywhere else,
Good.
I don't know. All right,
flashlight again.
Let's get right into it. This is the off season, so this will be shorter episodes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and do our crossover grid. We'll go to some off season KDF news. There won't be so much right now, but it'll be a decent bit. And then what the hell are you doing?
Who, me?
No, Gorlami. You just turned into Rudolph for a second.
I spilled beer out of my fucking crotch.
When you say Rudolph, I'm just thinking
It's so cold. Oh, it's so cold.
When you said Rudolph, I'm just thinking the videos like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie with the Full Metal Jacket sounds. You ever seen those?
Yeah.
So great.
Give me your war face. But yeah, crossover grid, KDF news.
No, sir. Bullshit. I can bet you can suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
Then we'll take a look at the NFC East and AFC East. We'll give letter grades for each team for this season. And then after that, as always, you can't escape it, Mastodon. Off-season tier lists. Your favorite. So let's go ahead and move right into the crossover grid.
Kurt Warner for Cardinals and lost the Super Bowl.
I feel so bad, though. I loved Kurt
He has one. No, he does have one at least.
But, this is also Larry Fitzgerald, too. Which is so sad.
I feel bad for Larry Fitzgerald. But the thing is, though, that was just a great game.
T.O. count for Cowboys lost in the Super Bowl?
Who?
T.O.?
Yes. He was with the Eagles when they lost, and then he went to Cowboys.
And guess what he's wearing right there? Guess what he's wearing in that picture? That's a Bengals uniform. Bengals legend, Terrell Owens.
Rookie of the year, lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was when. Yeah. AP Rookie of the Year, lost in.
That's a bit, I will say 15 career touchdown receptions and a Cardinal. Weird one here.
New cop.
Did Emmitt Smith have? There's Emmitt Smith had to have 15 career receiving touchdowns. I feel like.
Was he receiver or
no? Emmitt Smith.
Oh yeah, Ryan Back. Sorry, Sorry, It's been long week in general.
Try I don't want to say Fitzgerald, so let's do DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh yeah,
D-Hop. The worst part is, I feel like D-Hop will be
15 career reception touchdowns as a Cowboy.
You can name a lot of Cowboys here.
There could be a lot of them. I'm going to go with the classic.
My thighs are so cold now.
Almost the next quarter, or almost the next head coach, if Jerry Jones had his way. AP Rookie of the Year with 15 career touchdown receptions. I could do Jamar Chase here. I feel like it's a little bit too easy.
It would be too easy. Was there a running back recently?
Adrian Peterson?
Maybe.
Say his name right.
Nope, not Adrian Peterson.
You're saying his name wrong, Lob.
Shut up.
Adrian Peterson. It's Adrian Beat Your Son.
Yeah.
Did Stephon Diggs ever win Rookie of the Year?
I think he did.
I don't know, actually.
Nope.
No.
Just, I don't know. At this point, just do Chase.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think Jordy didn't get Rookie of the Year.
Okay, Jamar Chase. And then lost in the Super Bowl, but was also Rookie of the Year. Not Joe Burrow. He was injured his rookie year. We could have done Jamar Chase here. Didn't. AP Rookie of the Year. Now, this could be offensive or defensive. So we can think of defensive players here.
Aaron Donald. No, he didn't lose one.
No, Marshawn Lynch never got. Oh yeah, Nick Bosa.
There we go, Nick Bosa. Good pull. All right, now all Panthers. AP Rookie of the Year is a Panther. Did Cam Newton?
Yes, I think it's Rookie of the Year. Oh
yes. Yeah. All right, and then we need a Panther and a Cardinal and a Panther and a Cowboy.
Oh, Panther and Cowboy, Mingo. Jonathan Mingo.
Okay, that's a good one.
But for Panther and Cardinal, Deontay Johnson.
What? That didn't count?
Yeah.
For Cardinal,
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
What?
Deontay.
No,
you click Dante. Go DI.
D-I-O.
Oh,
Oh.
Deontay Johnson, not Dante. Okay.
Yes.
Nope.
Okay.
Wow. This is tough. Okay.
The thing is, it doesn't help that the Panthers has not been around that long.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Was Andy Dalton? Andy Dalton was a Cowboy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it was. Shit! Andy!
Oh my God, I feel bad now.
Oh, Andy Dalton.
Panthers.
I miss him. I miss him, but I also don't at the same time because Joe.
You missed the Red Rocket. You missed the Red Rocket, dude.
The Red Rifle. We didn't call him that.
It's Red Rifle.
Yeah. We did not call him Dog Phallus. Okay, let's get that very clear.
I did.
He's still better than half of the quarterbacks you ever had in your organization.
Speaking of quarterbacks, was Josh McCown ever a Cardinal?
Panther?
Ooh.
Oh, Cardinal. Oh.
Josh McCown. Hey! So other ones, there's Robbie Chosen Anderson here, Larry Fitzgerald, C.D. Lamb.
That's who I was thinking.
Jamar Chase.
Chosen Anderson. Sorry.
How many? So 15 career TD receptions. Yeah. Lost in the Super Bowl. So 15 career TD receptions. That's also Rookie of the Year. Let's take a look at this. See what other things are here. Now, not a long list.
J, Percy Harvin.
Percy Harvin.
Anquan Bolden, Randy Moss. Sammy
Marshall
White
Falk,
down here. Chuck
Mark
Foreman.
Fallon.
That is a guy. This right here, Chuck Foreman. This is a 44. That's a fullback number. 15 career touchdown receptions, and that looks like an old picture. He's got a 3-bar right there.
Yeah, that's a very old one.
Marcus Allen, that was a solid one.
I just gotta know how many screens they ran to that man.
Also, shout out Warwick Dunn. Super underrated running back. Shout out Warwick Dunn.
That's what I've heard.
All right. That is officially our crossover grid. Let's go ahead and move now into KDF News. That is
We
wrong.
have to.
Whoops. You did the wrong one!
Hey, that was a weird transition, but okay, I'm in.
Yep.
All right, so let's get through.
Can we get him out?
That's
What?
not. Let's do some news here. So injury news, not really too much to talk about, but I do have a couple things for the Eagles. First off, I want to stress that General Manager Howie Roseman is okay. He apparently tried to catch a beer can with his forehead during the Super Bowl victory parade, but he was okay because there's a picture immediately of him right after with a shit-eating grin and a cigar in his face. So
That's a good thing he's a GM and not a wide receiver. We start calling him Kadarius.
correct. Wait, why not? He's not strangling anybody.
Oh.
Well, he did strangle the Chiefs, so.
You're not wrong. So he's got experience, is what you're saying. Okay, we need to get off that. Other than that, the only other injury news I have is for Eagles center Cam Jurgens. He underwent back surgery this week to alleviate nerve pain. He expected to be ready by the time training camp starts back up in July. Now, it's a little early for it, but I got the Google Doc reset up for this year's free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not too much to talk about because the season only just ended, and the free agency period hasn't officially started yet. But there have been a couple re-signings and releases that have been made. And first off, before we get into any of that, the NFL has announced that this year's salary cap is expected to rise again, at least $22 million. It's going from $255 to somewhere between $277 and $281.5 million, which would be at least a $22 million change. So I don't know if this is just because the Saints are over by like $70 million again for like what seems like the 10th year in a row. But yeah, that happened. As for going team by team here, this is just in alphabetical order of teams that have made moves. The Panthers, we already brought up Andy Dalton earlier. The Panthers are re-signing him as a backup on a 2-year, $8 million deal. Yeah, that's decent if they decide to bunch Bryce Young again. Bengals, they are re-signing punter Ryan Reckow on a 2-year deal. Did I pronounce that right, Lob? Reckow?
It's actually Rico.
Rico, okay.
I don't know how, but it's Rico, and he's a darn good punter.
That he is. So good payday for him. On to the Jaguars. They've added 2 new names: former Buccaneers backup quarterback John Wolford, and former Chiefs running back Luis Rees-Zammit, who was one of the former NFL international pathway program players from the former rugby star from the UK. So he's on. The Dolphins, they made a flurry of releases, notably running back Raheem Mostert, cornerback Kendall Fuller, and tight end Durham Smythe. The first 2 are no names. I think Smythe was just a piece to fill out like a 52-man roster thing.
No,
so
Mostert? A no name?
No, Smythe, not Mostert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said first 2. I was like, wait.
First 2 are known names.
Known. Okay.
Yeah. Somewhat known name. Patriots are releasing linebacker Sione Takitaki. Love saying that guy's name. Sad to see him go just for that reason because he didn't really pan out in the Patriots season, as we'll get to. The Saints, though, they're keeping on one of their acquisitions from last season. Running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire on a 1-year deal. And just a couple more releases. The Pittsburgh Steelers are releasing linebacker Preston Smith only after acquiring him before the trade deadline. And the Niners are also releasing a linebacker, Demetrius Flanagan Flowers. He is out. Other stuff that I'm keeping tabs on, the Dolphins are not expected to use their franchise tag on safety Javon Holland. He is expected to be the top safety on the market this year, so he could definitely help out in a team secondary. And we got a couple retirements. And his first one being Bills offensive tackle Tommy Doyle. He announced his retirement only after 3 seasons in the NFL spent in Buffalo. This is a medical retirement after he suffered multiple serious knee injuries and nerve damage that caused him to miss significant time.
Jesus.
The last time he appeared in a game was the 2023 preseason.
Good God.
Yeah, he has not had great luck, but he does end his career with 12 games appeared, and his top moment probably being the one big man touchdown he caught during the 2021 wildcard round. And the other one this was kind of an expected one, but the news only broke of it a few hours ago. How about them Cowboys? This offseason is just getting worse and worse for them, and it's ending on an even sadder note today as Cowboys guard Zach Martin, team captain, has announced his retirement after 11 years in the league, all spent in Dallas, ending his career as a 9-time Pro Bowler and 7-time All-Pro. So, good retirement to him. Bad luck for the Cowboys. You have yet another massive hole to fill. Anyway, other news around the league. We got some league. 7 more Baltimore area massage therapists have added to the allegations against Ravens kicker Justin Tucker, bringing the total to 16 so far. So it sounds like we do have another Deshaun Watson situation on our hands. And all over them as well. Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams, he will face no discipline from the league for being, after earlier this year he was pulled over while carrying an unlicensed gun. Couple new hirings. The Cowboys have officially named 49ers defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen as a new special teams coordinator, and are having Cardinals O-line coach Clayton Adams as their new offensive coordinator. So that just screams excellence. The Eagles, they lost Kellen Moore to the Saints. His replacement was now pass game coordinator Kevin Patullo, who has been promoted. The Broncos are hiring former Saints interim head coach Darren Rizzi as their new special teams coordinator. And a notable couple hires by the Commanders. They have hired former 49ers special teams coordinator Brian Schneider as a new special teams coordinator. And they're hiring former Michigan Wolverines defensive back Jesse Madden, the grandson of Hall of Fame coach and broadcaster John Madden, as a offensive quality control coach. So good hire for the young Madden. Let's see if he's anything like his granddad going forward. Other quick few things. The Chargers were named the home team for this year's NFL Week 1 Friday game in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Seriously, Week 1 Friday night, a broad game again? Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, they need to improve that field because they played in that same one this year, and there were a lot of injuries because the field was not up to NFL standards.
Yeah. Other than that, Texans are exploring the possibility of building a new stadium to replace NRG Stadium. And speaking of the Texans, final thing I got is running back Joe Mixon winning his $25,000 appeal for the comments he made or didn't make in at least one of these cases about the NFL officials following their playoff loss to the Chiefs. That's all I got.
All righty. Thank you very much, Mr. Gooduff. And now we will start our review of the season. We'll start with, as we always do, the champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll start with them and then go through the rest of the NFC East.
A+.
Yeah, we'll get this out of the way. Yeah, there is. If you win the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter how you got there. It's just that it was it's an A+. That's
not just a Super Bowl. You did it with a running back you fleeced from a division rival. You got there by defeating another division rival in the NFC Championship game, and you also did it while causing all of Cowboys fans to cry out in horror as they watched you just pummel Mahomes and company.
Also, it wasn't
almost a fight.
Also, it wasn't a fuck them picks because a decent amount is rookies or draft picks for the past couple of years.
Yeah,
Quinton Mitchell out of Toledo, Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. Both of those are DBs that you improved your weakest link from last season. Improved this season with rookies, which is insane, especially to have that same rookie go out and get a pick six on his birthday in the Super Bowl like
Which was also his
amazing.
first interception as a pro too, which was also great.
Yeah, and it's not like he was bad before that. Obviously, that's his first
Oh,
interception. But like, no, I mean, like people weren't throwing the ball his way. He's been that good. So this team went from good last season to great this season. They won it all. They went on a 10-game win streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
After that loss, to the
9,
Bucks.
10. After the loss to the Buccaneers. I mean, the season started out 2-2. Didn't look great.
It's been
A
a
win against the
kryptonite of you
Packers,
guys.
a loss against the Falcons, a win against the Saints, a loss against the Buccaneers. It was just kind of up and
that's news I
down.
missed. The Saints are taking Nussmeier as their OC. Who's Nussmeier?
I don't know.
Saints Eagles Nussmeier.
No,
Doug Nussmeier. It's a new offensive coordinator.
Oh, he was their QB coach.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so started off the season 2 and 2. Sirianni shaved his head, 10 straight wins with only one loss to the Commanders at the end, and a win against the Cowboys and Giants. Even though the Giants win was kind of like garbage time game.
Rookie, yeah,
a bunch of rookies and everything. But I mean, your backup's Kenny Pickett.
Hey,
I mean,
he helped win against the Cowboys.
You did, and he saw the field in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only bad thing you can take away from this season is some injuries to the O-line late. Obviously, Jurgens their back procedure. Hopefully, that doesn't limit him next year. And then I would say, obviously, winning the Super Bowl kind of fixes this, but the lack of usage of AJ Brown, again, 1,000 yards, just over 1,000 yards for AJ Brown this season. Not a ton of targets, not a ton of catches, not a ton of touchdowns. Something he would not be super content with. But again, he won the Super Bowl, so that is kind of moved away. Amazing year for Saquon.
Like, why are we paying this guy like 9 figures if he's not going to make any catches for us this year? So,
well, he wasn't. It's kind of weird because if you look at the stats for Jalen Hurts of how many passing attempts he had, what was like the most he had in one game was like maybe 30, and then you see how many rushing attempts for Saquon. Is like
the dynamic of the team shifted to a run first team from a pass first team.
Yeah, especially with that O-line and
I mean,
Barkley.
again, I see this all the time with Michigan receivers. Devin Funchess was an amazing receiver for Michigan that did a very good job being a consummate pro in the NFL and was a solid guy. In college, we saw him do a lot of crazy things, but they weren't as often because we weren't a pass first team. A lot of these, like, if you guys don't think Colston Loveland is good out of Michigan right now, going into the draft this year, you got a whole new thing coming when he gets into the league. We throw to him like as much as we can, but that's not much in general. This guy is going to be very good when he gets to the NFL. So, yes, A.J. Brown didn't get a lot of yardage, but also that doesn't mean he's not good. It just means the focus of the team is different. The only problem I think I have with it is that you just don't want someone like that who can have an attitude in certain ways start to compound. But again, you just won a Super Bowl. So if he's mad about it, he needs to grow a pair because it's a team game. And you just won the greatest accomplishment outside of an MVP. And that's even an individual award mostly.
Tamper that down for now. Just enjoy the new ring on your finger and just hope that God improves next year. I can say for that.
I mean, and if you keep winning Super Bowls, I mean, this is amazing. Amazing year for Saquon Barkley.
I'm still here. I froze.
Oh no, you're good. Amazing year for Saquon Barkley. Another a good year for Jalen Hurts to really bounce back and prove some of the haters wrong. A+ season, but not really anything you can nitpick. 3 losses the whole year, like an amazing season, and some quality wins
and that
too.
was because of coaching, and that was the coaching problems too.
Going into free agency and the preseason stuff, like. What's the areas you think they can work on to like get on? I mean, because they're expected to lose Brandon Graham. He might retire. Josh Sweat's also
but you have agent. People to come back through that. I think you just keep what you got and continue it. A lot of you guys are young or old or on long contracts.
One big thing is Lane Johnson's going to retire.
Lane Johnson also retired too.
Yeah, he might. So. Is he going to retire? Mulata needs to get paid. He's on his last year in his deal.
Becton was actually a pretty nice piece, so I would maybe consider keeping him. Zach Bond too, especially in the
because they were both rentals, like 1-year deals.
Yep.
Was Darius Slay gonna keep on going? What's his deal? CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Vontae Maddox is on this free agent list too.
Yes. The D line, like Josh Sweat, needs to be paid soon.
Milton Williams.
Yeah,
another big piece.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis is still on their rookie deals. Nolan Smith and Nakobe Deans are in their rookie deals for linebackers. But the one that was injured basically all last half of the season. So it's going to be like interesting. Jalen Hurts is already paid.
Yeah.
You already have A.J. Brown for a bit. Devontae Smith is coming out for his contract. You already gave Barkley a contract.
Yep.
So it's kind of like I don't want to say nitpicking, but like choosing where you could lose.
Typically, when you win a Super Bowl, most people get paid, so you could try to keep that gang around and try to do it again.
Yep.
I mean,
also,
if you lose like one or two pieces, it's not going to be in the road for you.
No. And also,
sorry,
was that the Four Nations
USA
game?
scored.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, there's that. And then what's Howie Roseman going to do in the draft? Is he going to give up the first round pick, or is he going to do a weird trade again?
I mean, I definitely think looking at trying to get a good tackle to replace Johnson is going to be a necessity, but I don't know what you're going to be able to get as far as that goes. Yeah. I mean, there could be some that drop, but we'll have to see how the draft sets up when we get there. But again, like, I wouldn't be too worried about losing Brandon Graham. It's great for him to go off on this note, and you have dogs to back him up, and Jalen Carter.
Oh,
and,
yeah. I'm just glad he gets to go out on a high note.
Yeah, riding into the sunset with a ring.
Like, if he retires, like, not like he's gone, but like he got to go out on a high note. I feel good.
Absolutely.
If he comes back, I don't know. Like, he could go on like a 1-year deal that's team friendly.
Yep. All right. Let's move on here to we'll just go down the list from here. So the first one is the Dallas Cowboys. Missed the playoffs. They had a 7-10 record. I don't think it's an F because it's not the absolute worst. But
5-game losing streak in the middle.
Yeah.
Also,
D-minus.
Also, the last time the Cowboys got swept by the Eagles was the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017-2018 season.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So I would say D-minus if I'm...
Yeah, I would agree with maybe a D-minus, yeah.
Especially with all the news that came out like after the season ended with we're not letting Mike McCarthy talk to anybody, but we're gonna fire him anyway and then promote a yes man and Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
And it's now always gonna be glory holes and whatever that fucking seriously, Jerry, just go to the home. Let your son take over or sell the team. You are not mentally ready for this anymore.
The only wins this season were against the Browns, the Giants, the Steelers, Commanders, the Giants again, the Panthers, and the Buccaneers. The only quality wins of those, I would say, was the Commanders, the Buccaneers, and debatably the Steelers. Steelers looked good for the most part of the season, but, I mean, I don't know. Bad losses against the Saints, against like the Falcons, even against the struggling Bengals. Like, a very bad year. Injuries to Dak Prescott really roughed things up. Not having a good run game set up.
Oh, Barkley had more touchdowns in the NFC Championship game than the Cowboys did the whole season.
So yeah, they need to definitely fix the run.
Rushing
touchdowns. Yeah, I'm about to say because there's a lot
I
of
thought I said
here.
rushing.
I'm like,
No, rushing touchdowns.
Rico Dowdle and old ass Ezekiel Elliott weren't it. Not only that, they're probably
but Rico Dowdle did look solid.
Yes,
Rico Dowdle did look
decent.
Yeah,
I don't see I could see him being a long term solution at RB1.
Yeah,
and speaking of pieces, they could probably move on from or lose. It's not just Zach Martin that's gone. That you could see Brandon Cooks, DeMarcus Lawrence, Brian Anger, and Eric Kendricks all gone. Both backup QBs, Cooper Rush and Trey Lance as well. Honestly, you could just probably trash Trey Lance. Let's be honest here.
I feel so bad for him. He played like 3 games, and his NFL career seems to be over already, which is just horrible.
It's sad, but
But yeah,
is
you
Micah
have
Parsons going to get paid?
solid. Yeah, Micah Parsons paid or traded. There's also CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Rico Dwaddle. These are big names on the team. That the team is starting to lose some big pieces. Zach Martin is gone. He is now retired after an amazing career. This is one of the best linemen in the last 20 years of football.
Yep.
Yeah, and with him gone, I could see that O-line just crumbling into like the way the Patriots has in the past few years. Like, it is not going to look great by next year. I can tell you this right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I
say
don't
F
know what else
because
there's
it's
to say.
hilarious.
It's a D.
It was bad.
D or D minus. It was a really bad season where there were some pretty high hopes, and now it seems like there's only been roster downgrades thus far. We'll have to see how they draft and everything, but it's been rough. It's been very rough.
Who's next?
All in my ass. The hardest working comma.
A derp.
F.
New York Giants won 3 games all season. It was against the Browns, the Seahawks, and the Colts. The Colts, who have struggled to find anything going all year. The Seahawks, who are up and down like crazy. Their consistency sucks. And the Browns, who are probably the worst team in football right now. Well, at least the worst team on football that should be better.
Also telling Danny Derps to just fuck off in the middle of the season.
Yeah, cutting Danny Dimes in the middle after you paid him so much money. You couldn't run the ball. However, bright spot, Malik Neighbors looks really good. So there is a bright spot on this team. It is like a light bulb inside of a black hole, but it's a bright spot.
That looks good. The Brian Burns signing just aged like milk.
Oh,
honestly.
yeah. So I think, I definitely think an F here is this has just been a horrible season. It's an utter failure. You won 3 games and Malik Neighbors looks good. That's all you can rest your laurels on. I mean, at least Daniel Jones is gone, but you're still paying the guy because of that contract. It's an insane amount of money to give him.
Darius Slayton gone, Isaiah Simmons gone. Tommy DeVito is even a possibility. He is a free agent. It's other names I have no idea who some of these people are, so they can just fuck off.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence. How much longer are you going to be able to keep him?
Yep. Sexy
Still locked up for
Dexy.
a few more years, so you've got some time to figure that out.
Yeah. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. It was not a good year for the Giants. They just could never get anything going. Again, Daniel Jones just falling apart was horrible for this team. At least Malik Neighbors had a very, very solid season. 109 receptions, 7 touchdowns, 1,204 receiving yards. A great rookie season on a team that has been struggling to get anything going.
You paid the wrong guy, Giants. Thank you.
Yeah, but again, high draft pick. We'll see if Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders can turn this team around, depending on who they pick at quarterback. We'll see. But only way to go is up, Giants fans.
True.
I guess you could flatline here and just stay at this spot, but
or get worse by going 0-17.
Yeah, okay, there is some way to go down, but come on. Okay, NFL, what do we?
I mean, I said it last year that it couldn't get worse for the Patriots. I mean, it could definitely get worse for the Giants.
All right,
anyway,
so
Commanders.
The Commanders. I'm actually going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say A. It's not an A+, but it's an A.
I would say A minus, B plus on it.
A minus.
I would say A minus. I'll say A is at Super Bowl, but for them A minus because they were to the NFC Championship game.
You also have to base this on how they were supposed to do as well.
Oh yeah, no. That's the thing is that. What I'm saying is an A to me would be going to the Super Bowl, while A minus is you're right at that step to gain to that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you also got to put in and we literally made a TikTok of Jane Daniels, welcome to hell because you're on the Commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made us eat crow about that.
So, yeah. Oh shit.
This team went 12-5. They're do they count this? No, they don't count this as the off-season to the schedule. So their 5 losses was opening at the Buccaneers, then at the Ravens, then a 3-game losing streak, which was rough. Steelers, at Eagles, then Cowboys. But then they finished the season on all wins. They had quality wins against the Eagles late in the year before the final week. They had another good win.
Cardinals too, I think.
They actually their schedule was a little easy. Actually, no, the Bengals, that was because a solid win at night. And again, I had to watch Jane Daniels light us up for that. That was insane. But I mean, a good win against the Eagles late. The Saints was still a tough game. That was a good win there. Great win against the Bengals on a Monday night primetime game. And they were able to beat up on teams they should beat up on. And they didn't have a ton of horrible losses. I mean, Ravens are a tough team. Buccaneers are a tough team. But again, we have to look at this team as well. Rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who won the Offensive Rookie of the Year by a landslide. Bo Nix did have some votes, but at the same time, that was later in the season. Daniels was good all year. He was also their lead rusher. And this team was able to combine vets, a brand new coach, and a bunch of rookies, and swirl it all together and get to the NFC Championship. They beat the Bucs early, which some people could expect was a bit of a toss-up. They shocked the Lions, and then they go in and they play the Eagles well in the first half, but then fall apart in the second.
In fairness, it wasn't too much of a shock with the Lions. I kind of knew at some point all those injuries that
it was a shock. It's got to be a shock to the Lions. The injuries were going to catch up with the Lions. Yes, against the Commanders, people didn't think that. If the Lions would have beat the Commanders, gone to the Eagles, lost the Eagles because of injuries, everyone could have seen that happen. But the Lions, with all that talent and that whole year dominating the league, and then going into the divisional round and getting smacked by a really, really new team in the Commanders. These guys haven't had a lot of years to gel with each other. Was preposterous.
I think the shock was how much Commanders was kept up in a shootout with Detroit. I think that was the big shock. I think that was the shock right there.
Yeah, this offense is insane so far.
And also for the veterans, you basically had the 2017 Pro Bowl team. That was kind of the joke. Like
Mariota, Ertz, Bobby Wagner.
He brought over all his friends from the Cowboys. With
Austin Eckler, and then who was the quarterback? Who was the quarterback that got into fights with Odell Beckham? That's on this team now.
Oh, Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, Lattimore's on this team. Yep. Lattimore's
that was Odell Beckham. That wasn't Odell Beckham. He kept on having fights with Mike Evans because he was from the Saints.
Oh, right.
Lattimore came from the Saints. Yeah. You're thinking of the guy who played for the Giants also. Who played for the Panthers. Yeah. I know who you're talking about, though. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So, A for this team. Josh Norman. There we go.
They have to work on, build around Daniels.
The running game. The running game needs to be better. The offensive line looks good. It could use a piece here or there. You need to get a workhorse running back. Like, again, a lot of the running backs are young, but usually running backs are when they get into the league, you can kind of tell whether the running back's going to be, good or bad. There's not much time.
Wide receivers, too. Like, some of their free agents include KJ Osborne, Jameson Crowder, Olamide Zacchaeus, all kind of like fringe pieces. But
Zacchaeus, I could see them keeping well because he's done very good.
Wagner's also a free agent and kind of getting up there in age, so he may or may not retire. It's hard to tell what his head's at there.
If you can give him another 1 or 2 year deal on friendly conditions that doesn't overpay him, I think it's a fine deal to keep him. He led the team in tackles. Like, he's still productive. I can think
of one that's actually kind of a good question here. Tight end spot. Do they or do they not move on from Zach Ertz?
That's a tough one because it's age, but then if he still got it, because it's that weird thing of he wasn't bad this season, but then the age could catch up to him where he doesn't have a good season next year. So it's a very risky thing of what do you do?
Yeah. Oh, and also I just noticed another free agent here. The Hail Mary hero himself, Noah Brown's also up here. I would definitely want to retain him if I were the Commanders.
Yeah.
Well, they got one of the hardest things to get in the draft, a QB.
Franchise.
Got one of the hardest things to get is a franchise QB.
You have a cornerstone of your franchise, and when you have a cornerstone, you are able to build around it a lot easier than if you don't. Look at the Giants and look at the Commanders.
True.
So, amazing way to turn the franchise on a dime. Like, I've seen Allen Iverson pivot with more space than this. Like, this was just a 180 in a second. So
it's not like Dan Quinn's a bad coach either.
No, he's a very good coach. So this is an amazing performance from the Commanders to turn the season around. That is the NFC grade. NFC East grades A+ for the Eagles. We were all talking about D for the Cowboys, F for the Giants, and an A or A- for the Commanders. So now we'll flip it, and we will talk about the AFC East, starting out with the Buffalo Bills. All right.
For Bills? We say?
Yeah.
They got to the AFC Championship. I think it's still an A. They went 13-4 in the season. The only 4 losses were Ravens, Texans, Rams, and Patriots. Patriots was a garbage game at the final week of the season. So it's really only 3 losses.
Probably that game, so we didn't get the first.
Yeah, this Rams, again, as I've always said, as K-Duff likes to reiterate, one of my sayings, a blind cowboy in the side of a bar with a fully automatic shotgun with belt rounds. The Rams. That was a shootout of astronomical proportions. 42-44 was insane. And then a bad loss against the Texans and a tough loss against the Ravens, who they eventually ended up beating in the divisional round. A season, Josh Allen wins MVP, and rightfully so. This was an amazing team that performed great. Their offensive line did amazing. I was floored by the improvement from James Cook. I remember talking about this guy when he became the starter for the Bills a few years ago, and he wasn't doing much, and now 1,000-yard season. An amazing job at that. And we were talking about the team like they have no receivers, and Josh Allen distributed the ball so perfectly to all these receivers. I will say, not selecting Xavier Worthy when he was the guy to absolutely just slam you in
landed
the
your lap to
championship.
get Worthy, and you trade the pick down and move out of the first round. Like that will
gave
baffle
the pick
me.
to the Chiefs.
So you know what?
That
so
too.
The A and the only thing keeping you from an A plus is if you took that plus and you just turned it 45 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise. What happens when you turn a plus 45 degrees clockwise? What does it become?
Multiplication.
No, it becomes an X, standing for Xavier Worthy. That's what you're missing. That was what this team was missing, was a bona fide playmaking wide receiver that you gave up to the Chiefs. So I know that hurts, and I'm sorry, because this is one of my favorite teams outside of the Bengals and Packers. The Bills are a phenomenal team that has a great fan base, and they deserve to see a Super Bowl champion at some point. But my goodness, if you didn't shoot yourself in the foot with a 12 gauge when not taking Xavier Worthy. That was horrible. Out of all of the draft mistakes I've seen, that's one of the worst.
I mean, also part of it could be coaching for like that loss to the Texans. That was coaching.
Yeah.
The Chiefs in the playoffs, that was definitely coaching. I think that was coaching also.
Yeah. A little bit of rep ball, a little bit of coaching, a little bit of starting out slow. The Bills did start out very slow in that championship game.
They definitely need to get that X factor as they go into the offseason. Probably see if they can retain some of these weapons because free agents include Amari Cooper, Mac Hollins, Ty Johnson, DeMar Hamlin, Jordan Phillips. I
don't know how much productivity DeMar Hamlin gives. He'll probably stay around just because of his impact in Buffalo and the community itself. But Amari Cooper and Mac Hollins need to keep. Because Big Game Gabe Davis just became Mac Hollins this year. Mac Hollins was amazing in the playoffs. Keep him.
Yep.
Keep Amari Cooper because that's another great weapon and option there. You need to keep that offensive line together and working well. Need to improve the defense and just get the defense healthy. But other than that, this is still a very good team that just needs a couple little puzzle pieces, and I think they're there. Anybody else have any other thoughts for the Bills?
Let's say A minus, B plus, mainly because of the pick. Or Worthy with I guess you want to call it.
I mean, but also Josh Allen MVP.
True.
Yes.
So that still helps the organization because the MVP is not given to losing teams. Because if it was, Joe Burrow would have gotten it without a doubt. All right. Next up, Miami.
Oh, I skipped Miami. I was ready to do something.
What the fuck is this opening statement?
What? I've always admired his.
What?
Mike quotes.
ESPN, what are we doing? I know it's the offseason.
Can we give it an F just for that? Is that allowed?
I don't. They finished 8-9,
what's
just
great.
under 500. That's not an F. That is definitely in the C area, I would say.
C minus,
probably C minus to D plus, somewhere in there. They were off and on all season. They had a lot of injury troubles with Tua Tagovailoa. That sucks, just in general. They had some like a Rams is a good win. They had a win against the Niners, which was kind of a good win. The Niners were so injured this year; it was like, eh. They got some bad losses to like teams like the Titans,
the Colts,
the Jets. They had a chance to make the playoffs and just couldn't. It was a really up and down season that was just kind of bleh. Like you were just on that verge of getting to the playoffs, but just couldn't really keep it together. I mean, you started out the season 2-6, just rough. Came back with a 3-game win streak and then started trading wins and losses like it was the stock market. Not great. And again, a lot of this was because Tua was just injured for a lot of the year, so it really didn't give you stability from the quarterback position, which is stability in the locker room and stability on the field offensively. And this is a team that bases itself on offense. I will say, though...
Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley or the DEI hire Tim Boyle as your QB.
Boyle. Yeah. So Devon Akane had a decent year running, 907 yards. Tyreek Hill was amazing as always, but honestly, kind of lower numbers for him because of Tua's involvement. Not being on the field, so we couldn't get the ball to Tyreek as much. There was some of that trade-off there. Waddle had a horrific down year. I have not seen Waddle fade into obscurity that quickly, which could be very concerning for Dolphins fans. And then I will say, though, a bright spot, the tight end. I can't remember his last name right now. Really tall. No, not Gesicki. Gesicki's on the Bengals. Jonnu Smith. Amazing. Oh, yeah. He ascended to like what seems like one of the top 12 to 15 tight ends in the league now, very easily. Great yards after the catch kind of guy. Amazing job. So that's a good bright spot there. But
I was wondering where the fuck that was when you were a Patriot. But yeah, great.
You kind of really need this team to be healthy, which we're going to say again when we get to the Niners, or we're going to say it again when we get to the Lions. And that's really hard to control because unless you guys are doing stupid stuff off the field, you can't control injuries as much. And it really sucks with Tua because Tua is such a good person. Tua is such a good quarterback. And to see just these injuries over and over and over, and he won't say quit, and you're just worried for his...
You know what it feels like? Andrew Luck. And I'm sorry to say it, but it does. Like you.
Oh my goodness, it does.
I would say the difference...
You're saying that he's the future of your organization, and you're just letting him get horrifically injured year after year after year. Like, when does it stop with this?
I could somewhat see, but thing is, though, I think that it might be Daniels trying to protect him while the Colts organization just did nothing for Luck.
Yeah.
Not tripping?
I was just watching
hockey.
Dude, I'm so invested. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
know. No, it's understandable.
The NHL figured out how to do an all-star break. Best all-star break. So, it sucks just because Tua is so talented and such an amazing human. You hate to see someone like him go through this. Again, very reminiscent of Andrew Luck in many different ways. You don't know how much longer you're going to have Tyreek Hill. You don't know how much longer you're going to have Jalen Waddle because not of contract, but like retirement. But honestly, I don't think Tyreek Hill wants to stop playing because the how many kids does he have now?
He's not ready to go into the porn industry yet.
Oh, jeez.
There's also a lot of free agents they got. They've already lost Kendall Fuller and Raheem Mostert. They could lose to defensive ends like Calais Campbell and Emmanuel Ogba. Javon Holland and Jordan Poyer are free agents. Elijah Campbell. If Tua gets hurt again, Huntley's a free agent too. It's not. I mean, you got to make some moves at some of these positions because your O-line's already needing help, and you can't let your defense falter either.
It wasn't even that good of a defense this year either.
Yeah, because they've got a lot of stuff on defense they need to improve on too. Like maybe new cornerback or two, maybe new pass rusher because losing Christian Williams last year was brutal for their sack numbers.
Yep.
So
yeah, really rough. So this team looks like it's starting to slide into bad areas. And it's kind of tough to see with Tua being so young, but we don't know how many years we got left of him, especially of this really talented receiver core. So the window might be closing a little bit if it was ever really open.
It was cracked open at one point.
Definitely, I think a C- here because it didn't finish over 500. All right, next up, New England Patriots.
An F because they did not get the first overall draft pick.
I don't think I can give them an F. I know they're 4-13. I think I give them a D-. For the simple reason,
D-. Drake May.
Yeah, see, I was going to say D for Drake May. Drake May.
I am like, you know how I said last year around this time that it could not get any worse. It could get so much worse. Like, I will go on record for saying that this was probably the worst Patriots season, in spite of Drake May, the worst Patriots season in our team history. But you're going to be arguing, like, especially if you're a historian out there, K-Duff, 1992 with a Rod Rust year hat where you went 1-15. You went 4-13 this year. What's the difference? The difference is Rod Rust got us the first overall pick. Yeah. Gerard Mayo fucking didn't.
Yeah. You immediately get a new head coach, fire him the next year on a team that is rebuilding from one of the most dynamic dynasties in NFL.
After giving some time to think about it, like, it was very unfair to Mayo. We should have never put it in his contract that the second Belichick is gone, Gerard Mayo, you're the guy. It's just felt very unfair to him in hindsight.
Maybe, but it's just one of those things, like, if Belichick kind of fucked up being like, yeah, he's my prodigy. And you're kind of expect...
Yeah, that's your prodigy.
But then
have
you kind of forget...
your coaching tree?
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was thinking now. It's like, yeah, the coaching tree of Belichick.
Yeah, Masson, you know part of that coaching tree. You had part of it at one point.
Yeah.
Wow. The 4 wins this year were against the Jets, the Bears, Bills in garbage time, and week 1 against the Bengals, which will haunt me till I die.
Both teams.
Yes, because if the Bengals would have lost or won that game and the Patriots would have lost, Bengals would be in the playoffs. Patriots would have the number 1 pick. It was a nightmare game for everybody. This team struggled. They had some, Ramondre Stevenson looked serviceable, but their receiver core needs help. Their leading receiver was Hunter Henry with 674 yards. That is atrocious for an NFL organization in the modern era. Yeah. However, Drake May looked amazing. He could scramble. He took his time, didn't throw a ton of unwanted picks, was very accurate with the ball, got a good amount of touchdowns. I think if he was on a better team, like if you were to substitute Drake May for Jaden Daniels, I still think the Commanders would have been very good. Maybe not NFC Championship good like they were with Jaden Daniels, but still, Drake May looks phenomenal. And it's crazy to even say that on a team like this where there's so many L's, it's just intoxicating almost. So,
you can blame on coaching a lot.
Yeah.
Mayo did not establish a culture to save his life here, especially after the London game where we started calling our players soft. Like, not everybody on this team was playing soft throughout the year.
Also, that's something you say in the locker room, not out in the media.
True.
Yeah, not in the media.
True.
I think that's what basically kind of like started the Gerard, you're not a good coach. Like, it's starting down.
Yeah. But again, the saving grace, the only thing that's keeping this at a D- by like a hair is Drake May. Because Drake May, it looks like that the Patriots have a cornerstone set up and they can start building up from that foundation with Drake May.
Yeah, we have 2 pieces of the cornerstone. On offense, it's Drake May. Defense, Christian Gonzalez.
Yes. You have 2 cornerstones, the northwest corner and the southeast corner. That's it. Yeah. So get ready to buy the entire... This is going to be the house building theme from Red Dead Redemption 2. You're going to have to put every nail in.
Maybe 2 or 3 pieces. I could see us just like completely cleaning house and rebuilding. Because I look at this guy. Jonathan Jones, Dietrich Wise, Austin Hooper, Dan Aquale, JaMychal Hasty, Christian Ellis. A lot of these guys I could walk and I wouldn't mind. Like,
why is that like you would let the door hit them?
Why is it like to keep? We have a defensive end named Keon White who I feel like would do better more inside than outside. Wide receiver, we definitely need to overhaul that position. And
See what Mike Vrabel has for the culture too as a coach.
I mean, from the sounds of it, he's trying to essentially reassemble what he did in the better years he had in Tennessee, because he already brought Todd Downing back. So we could see something like that, especially.
I kind of see his firing at Titans was a power struggle between Tim and the GM.
Oh, it was definitely
also he knows how important it is to win in the trenches. When the Tennessee Titans were coached under Vrabel, they had amazing defensive linemen and they had amazing offensive linemen. Roger Saffold, Taylor Lewan, they had the trenches on lock. So if he's going to be able to do what he needs to do as a head coach and influence drafting and stuff of that nature, this Patriots team is going to get a lot better in the trenches, which was problem number one, I feel like, for them, is they couldn't block a single person.
That too. That was my main fear going into the season when we started putting Drake May in. I knew this O-line was going to be trash, and you want to put him in front of that. We just haven't have
I mean, Cole Strange is good, and you're going to just draft another Cole Strange with your second overall pick in the draft in April.
No, the fuck we are not.
I'm manifesting it, K-Duff. I'm manifesting it.
Not that stupid.
Jim Smith from Holy Cross University, and you're just immediately who
the fuck is that?
I want to see all the emotion drain from your face when we trade up and take Travis Hunter.
I mean, I don't think the Bengals are going to get Travis Hunter. I don't. I don't think there's somebody. There's not somebody in this draft. I think the Bengals. I really want the Bengals to get. I mean, I feel like the tight end position for us got a lot better with Gesicki. I liked him there, and we have a good rotation. And I like Eric Cole Jr.
Higgins blocks next week, and we take Emeka Egbuka.
Don't you put that on me, Kato? Don't you put that on me?
The Eagles don't need Travis Hunter.
Yeah, you don't. Your secondary is on blocker. So.
All right.
Jets.
F.
Jets. Suck. This was a train wreck in slow motion in an orphanage. It was so bad.
2 years.
They were 5-12, but I don't.
3 wins and $45 million in dead cap.
5-12, and I don't really know how many people thought they were having a better season than the Patriots. Their only wins were against the Titans, who are in rebuild hell, the Patriots, who are in mostly rebuild hell, a struggling Texans team going through a sophomore slump, a Jaguars team who needs no explanation, and garbage time against a struggling Dolphins team.
Let's not forget that whole drama mid-season with Hassan Reddick, too.
That was also.
You
got beat by the Colts, the Cardinals, the Dolphins, the Seahawks,
the Eagles
the Patriots.
Win that trade by
proxy? Don't know. I really don't know. That was looking like a complete bust before the trade.
You brought in Aaron Rodgers, who was coming off of 2 seasons removed from an MVP, onto this team, and you assembled a team around him who you thought was going to be great. You had this Jets team was so good 2 years ago that they had the offensive and defensive rookie of the year in Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, and Sauce Gardner.
And that was with fucking Zach Wilson taking most of the snaps.
Yes. That was how good it looked. And you're like, okay, we supplement one of the best quarterbacks of all time into this area, a couple other pieces around him and what he needs, and then we're good to go. And all the off-season stuff with Rodgers and the Darkness Retreat and the off-the-field stuff with the Pat McAfee show causing all this drama, players hating him, coaches hating him getting Robert Saleh, who is a very talented head coach, fired, getting a GM fired, the Madden ratings.
17-year-old running the team now.
The last 2 seasons have been some of the worst in Jets history, and that is saying something.
Worse than Rich Kotite?
I don't know.
Honestly?
But maybe. Aaron Rodgers last season.
I have to make that joke because Rich Kotite.
I swear to God, I don't think that's a joke at this point. I think that it's actually on par with the Rich Kotite year.
Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles last year, and the season was a wash. You're like, okay, cool. We'll come back next season. There were no excuses this season. None. It was, you go, you've had now a full year, you should be gelled, ready to, and it was abysmal in every sense of the word. It was horrible. Your defense is supposed to be good. It wasn't. You still have guys on the defense that are supposed to be amazing.
Yeah, and this defense is going to be falling apart. I look at their free agents. Hassan Reddick, DJ Reed, Tyron Smith, Javon Kinlaw, Solomon Thomas, Is Jalen Mills, Isaiah Oliver, Jesus fuck, they're
not a
they
bad
are
defense.
going back to the doldrums.
They're not a bad defense. They quite quit because offense sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The offense just couldn't get anything going because Rodgers wanted to run his offense, and it wasn't set up for the players that they had. They still got Devontae Adams in the season, and that did nothing.
Yep.
And now you're stuck with that money, too, and it's just like, what do you do with it? And now you have guys like Garrett Wilson.
Ran away from his problems in Vegas just to run into a burning building in Gotham.
Yeah. So Garrett Wilson is now saying,
Taco Bell in his house was not helping.
Yeah. Garrett Wilson's now saying, I'm not playing on this team if Rodgers is on this team. That's how bad of an influence Rodgers has been in this locker room. So what do you do?
Right, and Garrett Wilson still looked okay this year. So if you lose your top wide receiver, that's a major fucking failure.
So now all signs are pointing to bringing Sam Darnold back to the Jets and letting Rodgers go and complete the Brett Favre arc, going to the Vikings.
I said that as a joke.
But now it's actually plausible.
Oh my god! If they actually
Hold
him
on. No, I just remembered something. My somewhat
don't do that because we got swept by them last time that happened.
No, my supervisor at work was who's a Detroit Lions fan. He's like, I want Rodgers because golf is terrible. I'm like, you want that? And he's like, yeah, it's not that.
Goff had like 2 bad games this season. They were at bad times. But
that's the only thing. That's the only thing he cared about was like, oh, Goff had that 5 interception.
Weren't there like 3 or 4 weeks where Goff had less interceptions or less incompletions than days of the week?
Yeah, but he was like, that's probably because a team around him or some other shit. I'm like, dude, you do not want Rodgers. Like, Goff is still young and not that much of money. You're paying him. He's a play, but it's more money than Aaron Rodgers.
A little more, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he was like, oh, more than Aaron Rodgers is getting paid. It's like, but how long with Rodgers? He's like, we'll go 17-0. I was like, no, you're gonna go 0-17 if that happens.
I don't think Rodgers and Dan Campbell. Oh my goodness!
I said that
Dan Campbell would be like, just choke him and just slam him. It's like, I made the fucking quarterback and just like.
And also, I made the joke. It's like, if Rodgers goes to Detroit, he's gonna bring his butt buddy Nathaniel Hackett, and Dan Campbell is gonna fucking kick Hackett's ass.
Yeah,
like he'll bite his kneecaps literally,
kill him, and sell his kneecaps on the black market.
And he's like, well, that happens, just whatever. It's like Dan Campbell can do. It's like, no. You basically gonna have one of the worst teams in NFL history.
The Jets, you have a young core that's still very good. You need to get Rodgers out now. Let the door hit him on the way out for any price possible, and bring in a good quarterback. Maybe in Sam Darnold. Maybe that's who you need to bring in, and just you need to be able to rekindle the fire that this team had when Bryce Hall and Garrett Wilson were winning Offensive Defensive Rookie of the Year, because that team was so special.
Bryce Hall, you mean
Breece Hall?
Gardner?
Sorry, Wilson and Gardner, or was it Breece Hall that won Rookie of the Year? No, it was Wilson. It was Wilson and Gardner, Garrett and Sauce. When those 2 guys were winning Rookie of the Year on their respective sides of the ball, you need to get that fire back going. This is a young, talented team that you can do very well. And Darnold's still young. If you bring him back in, give him a second chance.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if Braylon Allen jumped ahead of Breece Hall in the roster.
Maybe, but this was also a lot less carries this year because they were not relying on the run as much. They were trying to pass with the Rodgers.
A lot less carries, but also Breece Hall didn't do shit. But when they threw in Allen, it was like, especially like goal line situations, red zone situations, like Allen did a lot in there.
Probably because they didn't put Breece Hall in, because Rodgers is like, I'm going to do my own shit and put Brandon Allen in. That's probably why. And
also he came from a Big Ten school, so running in the red zone was like second nature.
Yeah.
Also, Breece Hall's not really a power back, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, Allen is, and he's very young. Like, I don't think
But again, you can have that great dynamic with the 2-back system like they have in Atlanta. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier.
Or Detroit.
Amazing. Or Detroit, yeah. When they're not injured. But yeah, Jets F, train wreck. This has been a train wreck season, both New York teams. You're playing New Jersey anyway, so that's already an F grade, but this was even worse. So both New York teams are an F. Not great. So that wraps up our AFC East coverage. Bills get an A or A minus. A or A minus. I say A. Miami Dolphins, it was like a C minus. Patriots was a D minus. Jets is an F.
F for giving up the number one pick.
Yeah, rough, really rough. But yeah, there we go. That is officially our recap of the East's NFC and AFC. So now for the favorite part of the off-season podcast, tier lists.
We judge Mastodon on his.
We judge Mastodon heavily.
What are we doing today?
Fruit.
I don't.
Oh, this is fucking lame.
I'm just like, I was thinking like we could do meat. Like, cool, but we already did that. I'm like, okay, fuck it. Fruit. A different part of the food pyramid.
I only maybe ate like 2 or 3 fruits. That's it.
Oh my god.
I've only made 2 or 3. You ever had a smoothie? Like, a good smoothie every once in a while is awesome.
Not really a smoothie guy.
I'm not a smoothie drinker either, but I do like fruit.
Well, the only fruit that grows in Wisconsin is beer.
Hey, it's the
Red's
champagne of beers.
All right, so green apple.
I got my apples. I used to love green apples as a kid.
I used to too.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when I had green. C. I'm trying to remember when I said C as in Charlie.
Oh, okay. Red apple.
Well, the thing is, though, with green apples, like, when was the last time I had a green apple?
Green apples are solid, a little sour. Yeah, red apples are good. Honey Crisp are really good. I really like Honey Crisp, but I always had the problem of I don't eat the apple down to the like super close to the core, but even that, I still get like the acid of the apple really just like fucks up my stomach a little bit here and there, and you just get that like kind of in your stomach.
I like that.
Sounds like you just need a tougher stomach, dude.
Okay. Apricot.
Never had.
Okay.
Disgusting.
Avocado.
Never had.
Disgusting.
You had that guacamole? You had that guacamole?
Too spicy.
No.
Holy
I
shit, you are white.
Okay, hold on.
No, the guacamole is spicy.
I don't like guacamole either, but not because it's too spicy.
Híjole, amigos. Es gringos.
The taste is good. The texture throws me off, and I hate it.
I'm the same way.
No. I like it. Just was it when I visited my brother one time. My sister-in-law made some food. It was spicy. I was like, oh, it tasted really good. It was like fajitas or something. I was like, oh, it's spicy. My brother goes, oh wait, you're like Dad. You're a bitch with spicy food. And it was funny too. It was funny too. I told my dad that
fuckers are way juicy.
Yeah. My dad. When I told my dad that he got all pissed. He was like, me. My mom, my brother goes, no. He's right. You're a fucking bitch with spicy food.
With spice. Yeah, I like spicy food. I used to when I was playing football in high school. Every morning I would eat like 6 eggs, and I would douse them in buffalo sauce. I would like burn my taste buds off.
White people, some of us white people are so annoying with it. I had a lady at work last night or the other night who complained that her fries were too spicy. All we put on them is salt and pepper.
Oh.
All we put on them is salt and pepper.
Fries are not spicy. When you put seasoning, that's not spicy.
Oh my god! Getting a Gorlami moment. I hate how British people are with cuisine and how that gene of the British cuisine has permeated its way through.
Yes,
like the human anatomy. It's like
a European nation to hate.
It's like, oh, you put pepper on my fry, but I have bread toast. I have beans on toast.
Also, salt and pepper is not considered seasoning to me to fries. Like, I want actual seasoning on fries.
All right, let's move on. Bananas. You've had to have bananas.
S.
Solid. Great for
deep throating too.
Yeah.
Never had blackberries.
Stop. Time the fuck out, Gorlami. Go sit in the corner.
Oh, did he make it? Oh.
All right. Blueberries.
I come back now. I learned my lesson.
Okay, fine.
Shut up there.
All right, blueberries. Or sorry, blackberries.
Never had.
Really? Blackberries are really good. The only bad thing about blackberries is that little like pit that like flattens into this like thing that sticks on your molars.
No, I'm actually being serious about. I'm actually gonna be serious. 98% of this fruits.
Okay, so I've never had this. So you probably haven't. You've had to have blueberries.
Blueberries are good. I like blueberries.
You haven't had blueberries?
I like them.
You haven't had. I know you're not a fruit person, but oh my goodness, some fresh picked frozen blueberry. Oh my goodness. Okay, cantaloupe.
Nope.
Cantaloupe.
Never had.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Cherries.
Never had.
I'm an old fashioned.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you. Hold on. Wait.
Cranberries.
No, let me tell you the stuff I have had. Okay.
Okay. And then we'll rate the rest.
So make it easier. Yes. Lemons. Lemon B tier.
Well, we've all had lemons at one point.
I'm looking.
It's a garnish, of course.
You live close to Georgia.
Yeah,
I've never had a peach.
No. Also, I'm not that close. I'm not that close to Georgia.
Oh,
at your age, how have you not had a grapefruit?
Hank Williams, please save us. Hank Williams, if you can hear us, please save us. This man hasn't had a peach.
Orange.
Grapefruit at S tier for
hold on. Orange is S tier, and if I'm looking anywhere else, never had the rest.
You haven't had a blood
raspberry?
No.
You haven't had a fucking strawberry?
No.
I am going to kill you.
As I said,
all right. You haven't had fucking grapes.
All right.
No.
Grapes?
All right, Master, you're done. You're done. All right, Mister will take over from here.
Oh wait, hold on. Watermelon B tier. I just saw watermelon.
Yeah, B tier for watermelon. Okay. Okay.
I can't. I can't do this. I can't. I don't. How have you?
How have
you had Rin Rouladins, which are really good, but it's so random and interesting, basic.
No. Rin Rouladins because my grandmother, she's from Germany, made it for my dad.
But these are basic fruits. I get not having jackfruits and kumquats and pomegranates. Those are a little more rare.
Wait, kumquat.
You haven't had a fucking grape? A strawberry?
No.
It's like the most common fruit in the grocery store is a fucking strawberry almost.
I don't.
Can I give a wild opinion here?
I literally passed the fruit section to go like meats or some other shit.
I got
I'm more of a carnivore myself too, but even I've had fruit before, like most of these fruits before.
Okay, Gorlami, what?
I got a real fun opinion here. Cranberries, I would put personally an S tier. Here's the worst part about it. I am allergic to cranberries. I will risk it for the fucking biscuit for a
cranberry juice is so cold.
So you basically see on the toilet just
dude, yeah. I don't fucking care.
No, but listen, every like
Star, take the wheel.
every holiday season, ocean spray the inside of your toilet bowl. Cranberry every single.
Goddamn hard! I cracked a toilet bowl. Are you kidding me?
All right, so
that porcelain ate hole in this shit.
Jeez. So every holiday season, Canada Dry makes their cranberry flavored. Oh, that is like a holiday staple for me,
dude. If I crave a vodka cranberry, I have to be at a bar that's got a bathroom right next to the fucking bar.
I'm gonna.
I don't give a shit. People are like, "Is he puking in there?" And all they just explosion out of my asshole.
So cantaloupe,
you guys do tier list.
Yeah, cantaloupe is it's kind of like the texture can be a little weird. I like B. Grapefruit. Grapefruit is solid. It's kind of got a tanginess to it.
How has he not had a grapefruit?
Grapes are both
at his age.
Grapes are both A, solid. The juice is great. The grapes are also good. I love cherries, even with pits or without pits.
As a kid, actually.
I'm an old-fashioned man. I have to love cherries.
Yeah. Lime, I would put lime at A. Lime juice
I
is
like
so
the lime.
tart and good and things. A Moscow meal with some lime. Obviously, this is like outside of just straight limes, but
it's gonna sound weird, especially after the episode we did on it way back. For me, lemons are S tier.
Yeah, lemonade. Come on,
K-Duff, you want to make a bet?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, are you doing this again?
Okay, S tier. Where is it? Where's a fucking peach? No, peach.
You know what we can put in
pomegranate. There it is. P.
The most disgusting smelling fruit ever. Have you guys ever smelled or eaten jackfruit?
Yeah, it's bad.
I put a pear in A tier.
Avocados are A. Okay. Love guacamole.
No.
Blueberries. Also, some frozen blueberry. Michigan frozen blueberries, Gorlami. Oh my goodness.
didn't know Michigan was known for.
I like blueberries. I'd rather have a fresh blueberry than buying a pack of frozen blueberries.
No, you get fresh blueberries and you freeze them for that texture and that crisp crunch.
No, I just fucking eat them like a normal human being.
Nectarines are like a subpar peach, but that's going from an S to an A. Passion fruit is overhyped. It's way overhyped.
I would put kiwis in B. I used to love those as a kid.
So
they're solid. The tiny seeds are way too crazy, though. Strawberry is solid A.
It's a solid A.
Solid A.
Dragon fruit D. Get that shit out of my face.
Also, dragon fruit, if you have it just like right out of the fruit itself, you will shit yourself. It is a massive...
It's like me with cranberries.
No, but dragon fruit has natural laxatives in it.
Oh.
Damn.
You might double shit yourself.
I never knew that.
Raspberries.
Hey, I can use that. Maybe I should eat one for work, being a bad
raspberries is great for that red mana tart.
Here's the plan. I'll have a vodka cranberry, then I'm going to eat a dragon fruit, and we're going to see how bad it gets.
And then you take 5 melatonin and see what happens first. Do you fall asleep or do you shit yourself?
Oh, that's like
I would try just like eat it at work and be like, be in the bathroom for 4 hours. Like the best 4 hours of my fucking life.
You had pineapple there. That is a D tier. That is a shit fruit.
No, pineapple juice. Pineapple juice. You got to think of the juices with these two. Pineapple is a lot of work to get to it.
No, it's the fruit itself. It's a shit fruit.
No, pineapple tidbits are amazing. I'm going to say a C at best. Best. Pomegranates, again, a lot of work to get into it, and they're really messy. I don't like them.
I don't like them.
Durian, that's a
blackberry, solid A. Solid A on the blackberry.
A lot of work to get into.
Blackberry, solid
A. Solid A.
Yeah, the good tart. I don't like the little thim thing that you get.
Hear me out. Have you picked wild blackberries yourself and then ate them?
No, I have not done that.
That's what makes it an A tier. It's so much better if you have blackberry bushes by you. You pick them yourself.
I'm not a
wash them, eat them.
Coconut is good, especially dessert styles. Coconuts are awesome. The shavings on it are great. The water you get from coconuts is awesome. But getting the coconut open, which I've done myself, is horrendously hard to do.
Makes you shit yourself
not
too.
The taste, but the consistency.
Honeydew is like a subpar cantaloupe.
I know, but did anyone get
blood orange? Blood orange is S tier. I don't care what you say. Blood orange is S tier. Fuck you.
Okay, tangerines are also
it goes up there.
I'll put an A tier. Star fruit. I actually had that before. The skin is waxy, but the fruit itself is like tart and sweet. It's really good.
Pears, solid B tier.
They're
kind of hard. Pears are their ripeness is very hard to get right, and there's not a lot of them that get very ripe well. And a really good pear is a good pear. A really bad pear, you'll remember the rest of your life. I've had gooseberries before. These are also called ginnups, I believe. I think they're also called ginnups. I kind of like them. They're C tier. Raisins, solid, but there's always that. There's always that fruit stem or wood piece in them that is just like ugh. I think I've had sour cherries. They're not as good as regular cherries. But
it's an A.
I don't think I've had any of these others. I don't think I've had plums before.
Mangoes are
I've had mangoes.
I've had lychee. I've had
mango juice is better than a mango though.
I've had lychee. It's an interesting taste. It's I put it in C because I don't hate it, but I don't like it either.
Okay. Anybody else had any of these? I don't think I've ever had a actual fig. I've only had
I've had a persimmon. I've had a persimmon.
Dude, that's a thing.
C.
Where do you think fig Newtons came from, Einstein?
Oh my god! I think I might have had guava before. I can't remember actually.
This sounds like rich people food.
All right, so I haven't had these. I haven't had a kumquat, ground cherry, custard apple, Asian pear, red currant, palmetto, a plum. I think I've had a. I don't even know.
70 years back being a
dates.
I've
had dates.
I haven't had a plum in so long. I don't even remember what it's like.
Dates.
I haven't had dates.
Figs. I've had an apricot, and it was meh. It was C. Meh. Black currant, papaya, mulberry, a rambutan that just looks like a grenade.
I don't even know what that is.
And a white currant.
I'm not sure.
In fact, Honeycrisp apples weren't on this list is actually kind of criminal.
Well, there's so many different types of red apples that it's like.
Oh yeah, there's like.
I'm counting the Honeycrisp. If we're counting Honeycrisp, it's an S tier.
Honeycrisps are so good, and then also just they're fucking ew, man. They're like
look at the fruit
softballs. The fruit ball stooges, yeah. Sorry.
Hold on. For apple pie, green apple or red apple for an apple pie? Give me your opinion right now. Green apple or red apple?
Key lime.
Every time my mom baked of it, she used green apples. So
I usually use green apples when I have apple pie. I think a green apple is great in an apple pie.
Yeah, I've had both. Fair. Both can be good. But anyway, that wraps it up here for the NFC East and AFC East recap for this week of the Football Stooges. Again, we'll have 3 more weeks where we cover the West, the North, and the South. We'll make sure that Mamba is here for the North so we can have proper banter between our NFC North compatriots. And that'll be us the week I talk about the AFC North. And then I think for the South week, for the AFC and NFC South, we just need to... We'll probably have that episode be where we play a game and talk about it, because we're going to need to distract ourselves from the horror that is the AFC and NFC South. Yeah.
Phasmophobia.
You can't play Phasmophobia with 5 people, though, right?
Oh,
probably a mod, but... I think Phasmophobia is a good idea, better than Lethal Company, because you don't get...
like multiple people for like Among Us and Lethal Company, so...
I think it'd be better if we played a scary game like that, so either Lethal Company again or Phasmophobia. We'll talk about it more. But anyway, thank you for watching this episode of the Football Stooges. Make sure to like the video. Leave us a comment down below if you want us to answer a question in the upcoming week. Enjoy the offseason of football as much as you can. The news is few and far in between, and there's a lot of people trying to come up with things here and there. But have fun with it. It is a interesting time, obviously, with no football going around. But it is still an enjoyable time nonetheless to reflect on the season. And UFO's right on the corner, so don't be worried. There's still football to be had. We'll always be here. We'll always be here every Friday for you at noon. We might have an off week just before the UFL season starts, but hopefully you enjoyed the episode. And as always, run the damn ball. Have a good night.
Most of it. I mean, when you guys are doing the tier list, yeah, because it's like, I don't know shit on that tier list.
I've had 3 fruits my whole life.